This is Radio TV Phono Nut, and we have a Voice of Music model 270 AV classroom record player. This is their baby model with the little IC-based amplifier and 4-inch speaker. General Industries 4-speed drive mechanism, plastic turntable platter, but it has the nice VM tone arm like the record changers had. VM made this particular model for years. I think the first one came out in about '67. Well, I peeked under the hood, and this one's got late 1975 date codes in it, so it was probably made in '76, and since VM went belly up in '77, this was pretty much close to the end of the line for them. I have not tested this, so let's turn it on and see what happens. Well, I'm hearing some amplifier action. The power light comes on. Getting nothing from the needle, although I can tell the needle is bad. Let's see if we can borrow an 89T cartridge out of something and see what happens. Okay, plugged in a new cartridge and still not getting any activity, so we know the amp must be working because I'm getting static when I turn the volume control. So it's probably a broken connection between the cartridge holder and the amp inputs. Let's open it up and see what we can do. Okay, when I touch the amp input under here, we get a buzz. So that tells us that our trouble is somewhere between the cartridge holder and right here. Of course, I'm sure that amp could use some service to perform its peak, and we'll get to that shortly, but one problem at a time here. Okay, here's the problem. Tone arm wires are broken right where they come out of the tone arm. And it makes me wonder if someone did that. That doesn't really look like something that could happen just on its own. Okay, I dug around in my junk and pulled some tone arm wire out of an old 60s junker BSR record changer, and we have the 89T cartridge holder already soldered in place. I did a little something that's normally not done to these, but over the years I've repaired a lot of these where the wire would break at the cartridge terminal, and that's due to people flipping the holder back and forth from LP to 78. Well, I just installed a couple of pieces of heat shrink tubing to sort of act as a strain relief. Now, chances are down the road I'm going to be replacing this cartridge with a standard Varco TN4B stereo cartridge wired for mono, and that's because these 89Ts are getting scarce and expensive, especially the old variety with LP on one side and 78 on the other. And I'm the type that if a record player has 78 RPM speed, then it should have a flip needle so I can play that type of record. I don't like these new little red single-sided 89Ts that they make, and the green single-sided 78 RPM ones. You have to swap the cartridges around, and I don't like that. And one of the problems with installing a Varco cartridge in one of these is the new cartridge only puts out a half a volt, while this 89T cartridge puts out 1.3 volts. The new cartridge will work, but the output will be weak and tinny. In some cases, it's possible to modify the amp to get a little bit more gain out of it. So if it's determined that I can easily do that with this amp, then we'll probably eventually go with the Varco TN4 or Fan Steel P226 cartridge. And the flame became a bride. Yeah, that's better. These pots need some attention. The speaker sounds like it's got a hole in it. You know, the problem with the speaker is actually a dragging voice coil. When I press on the cone like that, I can hear the coil rubbing, but fortunately this is just a 8-ohm 4-inch speaker, nothing exotic. Shouldn't be much of a problem to come up with a replacement. Okay, I cleaned and re-lubricated the drive mechanism. No need to really show you that because you've seen me do it many times on here. I found a speaker out of a another record player that I'm likely not to fix anytime soon. Installed a new 89T cartridge. Unfortunately, it's the dual LP version, so I can't play 78s on this yet. And it's all back together and working again. Okay, here we are with an LP.
The moment I wake up, before I put on my makeup, I say a little prayer for you.
Not a powerhouse record player, but still a decent one. This was probably made for a smaller classroom or for more personal use. I don't think this was really designed to fill a whole classroom with room-filling sound. And we'll close it out with a 16 RPM talking book record. Thanks for watching, and more to come later.
The Night is a Time for Listening. A novel of suspense by Elliott West. Copyright 1966 by Elliott West. Recorded for the Library of Congress and the Talking Book Studios of American Foundation for the Blind, Incorporated, with the kind permission of the publishers Random House, Incorporated. Solely for the use of the blind. Read by Leon Janney. Listeners are requested to keep these talking book discs clean and in order. About the author, Elliott West